Welcome back, fellow ELA teachers. It's Elizabeth from Big Kids Hall and Bitsy in the middle. And I'm ready to begin the second part of my unit planning. I've set goals. Now I want to think about summative assessment. And specifically, I want to talk to you today about why would I want to plan assessments before I've even planned my instruction? What kinds of assessments work well with the different kinds of goals? And seriously, can't I just use the test that's in the book? Let's get started. Why would someone want to plan their summative assessments before they've even planned what they're going to do from day to day? Well, it's not that I've planned nothing. I have set 4 broad goals for my unit, which is what I did in the last video. I've got 4 goals, like I said. I have a toolbox goal, which is fix-up strategies, what to do when you don't know what to do. I've got a thematic goal of hubris creates consequences. I've got a social goal. I want my students to be able to use language supports meaning making in partnerships and in book clubs, and in a respectful way deals with misconceptions and how to get a partner back on track. I have established goals that are my standards that I am going to teach in this unit. So now that I know broadly what I'm teaching, it's time to think about how I'm going to assess it. Which brings us back to the question, why now? Well, it's widely accepted that beginning with the end in mind tends to get us where we want to go more easily. In addition, at the beginning of a project, I've got new ideas, I've got new project energy, I'm excited about what I'm doing. And I haven't yet hit that we've been doing this for weeks frazzled feeling where I just usually give up and do what's easy, which isn't only lazy, it's less likely to assess what it was I wanted to accomplish. In addition, if I know what the summative assessments are going to be, I know what success looks like and what the kids are going to need to succeed. So that helps me streamline the choices that I make about my day-to-day instruction. Plus, if I decide to do in my daily instruction, do something a little creative or off the wall or flaky, if anyone questions it, I can show exactly where it fits in the greater scheme of things and how it will lead my children to be successful on their assessments. And then what I test communicates what I think is important. And so I want to make sure that my day-to-day instruction does in fact match what I say is important. So what kind of assessments would I want to use with a unit like the one I'm proposing? Well, there are often kinds of assessments work better with different kinds of goals. So my toolbox goals, those are my strategies, my thinking that I want the kids to pick up and use in their everyday reading, today and every day, right? I could gather anecdotal evidence, have kids tag a series of responses in their notebooks on how they've used the strategies. That could work as a summative assessment. I could also look at checklists that I can use when I see kids using strategies during conferences or as they're doing their independent reading. One could do, in some cases, performance tasks that would reflect the mastery of a toolbox goal. Those can be a little sketchy. With a thematic goal, almost certainly I'm going to use some kind of performance task. I often use Socratic seminars. I use them at the end of almost every unit. We've got rubrics the kids are already used to using, and that makes it quick and easy. I also could have them create a project that reflects that theme in its creation. Social goals is kind of going to be a hybrid. There are rubrics that the kids use when they're grading interactions in book clubs that could be expanded to partnerships. And on top of that, there are anecdotal notes that I'll take or checklists that I'll use to watch behavior when they're working in partnerships and in groups. Finally, my established goals, I am going to give at the end an ABCD multiple choice test that is very carefully aligned to the standards I'm going to teach. Why? Because in May, that's what they've got to be able to do. I don't like surprises, ever. And so I have to be able to keep that end up, even though it's not the central part of my assessment for the unit. It's got to happen. Now at this point I want to start to knock around some ideas about things that I could do as summative assessments for each of my goals. I'm going to type in more things than I probably will use this go round with this unit. It's nice to have a variety of assessments from which to select. depending on the personality or the ability of a class and the time that we have to give it. I don't want to rewrite units every year. I like to write units and then improve them when the off season comes in June, July, and August. So I'll include some thoughts to work on then too. So if my toolbox goal is that the kids will monitor comprehension so they know when they're lost, that they'll be able to go to a stash of strategies from which to pull, and they'll be even able to choose the strategy that best solves the problem they're having at that moment. I could do a couple of things. I could have them write a compare and contrast paper. Here's what I used to do when I got stuck, but here's what I do now. I could have them do a how-to brochure or a how-to paper. I also could do a performance task, and I'm kind of thinking that's what I want to do with this. What I'm thinking I might like to have them do is create a short video lesson, either with Flipgrid or something we could put on YouTube, that uses a self-selected text and a strategy that they could actually teach. That would certainly show that they had mastery of a particular strategy. Let me type those in. Now that I look at it, I'm thinking the compare and contrast might actually reflect better the use of lots of strategies, but I'm also thinking the video lesson thing would be a lot of fun. For my thematic goal, like I said, I'm feeling a Socratic seminar in which the essential question will be, how does hubris create consequences? And they'll pull in what they've learned from each of the many texts that we'll have studied. That's the easy way out. Another thing that might be fun, but wouldn't pair well if they're already doing a project for the toolbox goal, but if I decide to do the paper for the toolbox goal, then I can do a project for my thematic goal, and that is to create a drama, a one-act play, a sitcom, something like that, in which the climatic scene, and that also lets me slide in a little bit of story elements into what I'm doing, reflects the theme, hubris creates consequences. Okay, that would be a lot of fun too. Kids love to create things that they can act out and present. But like I said, I'm not sure I would want to do two kinds of projects. So I'd have to make some choices. Social, that type of assessment is going to be with rubrics used during partnerships and book clubs. Again, a performance task would reasonably be to create anchor charts on how to talk to a partner. Maybe a say this, whoops, not that. They could enjoy doing that, doing the not that part. That might be useful and something we could have around the classroom too. Establish goals, yep, like I said, we're doing a test, A, B, C, D, tightly aligned to the standards I'm teaching. Okay, so now I've got a good set from which I can pull. I can adjust the assessments that I use based on a class's ability, a class's personality, the fact that I have a co-teacher in one of my blocks, and I think that will end up working quite well. So that takes us to the end. You should be able to answer, why would I want to plan my assessments before I plan my instruction? Begin with the end in mind. It's your roadmap. I have to know my destination. Having that ready and in line means that I will teach to that. What kinds of assessments work well with the different kinds of goals? Established goals, man, I'm going to test my kids the way the state's going to. With the others, I can look at performance tasks. I can look at writing elements. Seriously, can't I just use the test that's in the book? Well, I mean, technically I guess you could, but it won't be aligned to exactly what you're teaching in your unit. It'll be what was in someone else's mind when they were putting together a different unit. But you're not done yet. This is actually just the beginning. The next thing I'm going to do is to build my assessments. I'm going to make them all right now because, again, even if I have a great idea, when I'm 6 weeks into a unit and I'm sick of it and I just want it done, I'll go for what's easy instead of what's good. So it's time for me to get back to work.